What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Quick 60 Sports. Today, I'm going to finally give you my update on the Super Bowl matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the LA Rams. It's been a while. I've said I was going to put out my video about the Super Bowl predictions. And the reason I haven't is because I've honestly been going back and forth about this game after looking up the data and my analysis. And, it's just back and forth. And so, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give you my pick. And it's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals +4. And it's really tricky because, there's no super team here in the Super Bowl. And realistically, it's not like the Bengals are like the Giants when they beat the Patriots, because the Bengals don't have a stellar defense, a stellar front four either. I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not like the Giants with Strahan and company. So you have that. But on the other side, you don't have Tom Brady. It's just Matthew Stafford. He honestly, the Rams should have lost against the 49ers. Just if Tart would have caught that interception, one of the two interceptions in the fourth quarter or overtime, the 49ers should be playing in the Super Bowl. But you have the Rams, and, obviously they have the prolific players, the prolific names. Obviously, it's ironic that they have all these free agents that they acquired, these big name free agents, but they actually have I think they're the number one or number two NFL team in the whole league that has the most homegrown players that they've developed through the draft, which is really crazy to think about, crazy stat. So there's that. But also a crazier stat is that you would think that with Aaron Donald and Von Miller and company, that they apply a lot of pressure to the quarterback with their front four, but actually they don't. And so, don't ask me why, but I think they're 17th in the league, so right around the middle in pressure rate. So that's not, statistically really good. They're going to have to blitz a little bit, maybe outside linebacker, nickel corner, or something like that to get to Joe Burrow. The problem with that is Joe Burrow loves to play against the blitz. He eats up the Ravens, who was number one in the blitz. The Chiefs, they blitz a lot as well. The Bengals, however, don't blitz. Not the Bengals, excuse me. The Titans didn't blitz. They don't blitz a lot. And so he kind of struggled a little bit against the Titans, but came out eventually. And the Titans actually have a better pressure rate than the Rams. They're top 10 defense as far as that goes for the Titans. So, Joe Burrow, people talk about the offensive line for the Bengals, but realistically, I mean, he got sacked, 9 times against the Raiders. And I know we talked about the video about that game. If you go back and look, that I said that the Raiders front four is actually really good, and they don't blitz a lot because they cause pressure with their front four. And so I don't see, the Rams just bringing pressure with their front four. And statistically, over the whole season, they haven't gotten a ton of pressure on the quarterback with just front four. So expect them to blitz a little bit. And Joe Burrow, he loves to throw it out quick to Jamar Chase or hit Tyler Boyd in the slot. And so, those quick option routes. And so those hot routes. So we'll see what happens. But I think that the Bengals are going to do well against the Rams. It's ironic because the Bengals won't blow out the Rams, but I think they'll cover +4 right now. And I think that they're going to win by 2 or 3 points. But the Rams have the capability and the players to blow the game out. If it was a blowout, the Rams are definitely going to be the team to win. But I'm going with the Bengals on this. And if we look at the depth chart real quick, guys, on the Rams, you have Cooper Kupp, and he's going to be honestly playing against a shutdown corner, which I would say one of the shutdown corners, and Awuzie, and so from Dallas, and honestly, they've been doing a good job of shutting down the number one corners or number one receivers, of other teams. So Jesse Bates in that backfield as well. He'll be a free agent next year. Hopefully they re-sign him, but their defense is looking pretty good. Their front four with DJ Reader and Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard, that's huge, huge, huge. Look for the middle of the linebacker core right here. Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt are their weaker two guys on the defense. So look for Tyler Higbee if he's healthy, coming off that injury in the NFC Championship game. Look for him to have a big game in the Super Bowl as well. And then you have the offensive line here. Realistically, I mean, yeah, they're not that good. Jonah Williams, he's decent. Trey Hopkins is okay, but they're going to struggle a little bit. But I expect Joe Burrow to make Joe Burrow plays and get out of there and make things happen. And so he's not going to be afraid of the limelight. You know, he played national championship games, #1 overall pick. I think that he can keep the game close. I think these both teams overall are pretty equal when you look at it statistically. On paper, the Rams are a lot better. Statistically, though, they're pretty even. And so, you know, you have Jamar Chase. That's the matchup people are going to be watching. Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey. You go over here to the Rams depth chart, and you know that honestly, after Jalen Ramsey, though, their secondary is kind of hurting a lot. And you know, Taylor Rapp, he's okay. Nick Scott, and then you have Eric Weddle as well, who they signed. I think he led the team in tackles against the 49ers. And so, you know, they have some issues in the secondary right now. Rose Boom, he's not that good as well. Troy Reader, you know, very skeptical. So look for Joe Mixon to have a decent game. And honestly, the pass defense of the Bengals is a lot better than the run defense of the Bengals. And that's why I was surprised in the second half when Andy Reid came out and throwing the ball, and they were up, 17 points. And I mean, honestly, McKinnon had a really good game in the first half. So why not just hand him the ball and run him against the Bengals defense? And so, you know, look for Stafford and company. They're gonna have to get the jet motions going early and ride Sony Michel and Cam Akers. Hopefully Cam Akers can hold on to the ball. Fumbles have been kind of costly in the playoffs for the Rams and Cam Akers as of late. And honestly, I mean, their offensive line, obviously Andrew Whitworth, ironically coming from Cincinnati, has to play the Bengals in the Super Bowl, but they're not hands and feet better than the Bengals offensive line, believe it or not. It's just that this front four for the Rams, it looks so scary. You know, Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd and Robinson. And so, you know, they should be able to create havoc, but I guess they're just double teaming. They're going to double team Aaron Donald and chip with the tight end on Von Miller. And that's going to be enough time for Burrow to make something happen. And, you know, Odell's going to have to come up big too, I think, because he'll be playing the slot, I believe. And I think that he's going to have to win some matchups, you know, and I think he might have a safety or probably a safety lined up on him, maybe Jesse Bates. It'll be really interesting to see how they play Matthew Stafford and see if the Bengals go 2 high safeties or they go 1 high safety, because, I mean, they're typically going 2 high safeties most games. So I'd like to see what happens when they, you know, in 3rd and long, 2nd long, and they have to pass the ball, and see what kind of defense they line up in. All right, guys, appreciate the time. If you like my video, please subscribe down below. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back on with my NFL updates tomorrow. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.